Have you ever wondered what it would be like to encounter something so profound, so life-changing, that it defies all rational understanding? Picture this. Mary of Magdala, a woman from whom Jesus had cast out 7 devils, begins her day like any other. But then, in the hushed quiet of the morning, she becomes the first person to witness one of the most significant events in history, the resurrection of Jesus. Overwhelmed by surprise and joy, she rushes to share her monumental news with Jesus' companions. She finds them mourning, their hearts heavy with loss. Eagerly, she tells them of her encounter, her words tumbling out in a rush of excitement. But instead of the joy she expects, she is met with disbelief. They can't, or perhaps won't, believe that Jesus is alive. Imagine the frustration Mary must have felt, her monumental news met with skepticism. This was the first of many times that the good news would be doubted, setting the stage for a story of faith and resilience. Ever felt like your truth was questioned, even when you knew you were right? Picture this. 2 disciples, their hearts pounding with joy, rushed to share the extraordinary news. They had seen Jesus himself, alive and breathing, in a form different from before. As they recount their encounter, their words tumble out in a rush, their excitement palpable. But the response they receive is not the shared joy they expect. Instead, they are met with disbelief, even doubt. Their words, their truth, dismissed as mere hallucinations, a side effect of grief maybe. It's disheartening, isn't it? To have the truth you've witnessed, the joy you've felt, questioned and dismissed. Imagine the disappointment that settles in their hearts. A bitter contrast to the joy they had just experienced. Their news, their truth brushed aside. Yet, they had seen him. They had spoken to him. He was alive and they were certain of it. But their certainty, their unwavering belief, falls on deaf ears. The others just couldn't or wouldn't believe it. What do you think it would take for you to truly believe in something extraordinary? Imagine being one of the 11, seated at the table, when Jesus appears for the last time. Despite the previous accounts of his resurrection, they had struggled with disbelief. Yet here he was, standing before them, alive and well. In his presence, their doubts began to crumble. Jesus, however, did not let them off lightly. He reproached them for their incredulity and obstinacy, for their refusal to believe those who had seen him after his resurrection. This was not a moment to bask in relief, but a moment of reckoning. But as with all moments of challenge, this was also an opportunity for transformation. Jesus called on them to carry the good news to all corners of the world, to share his message of love, hope, and redemption. In the face of disbelief, Jesus calls for faith and action. So what can we learn from this passage? From the courage of Mary of Magdala, we learn the importance of sharing extraordinary experiences, even in the face of doubt. She was the first to witness the risen Christ. And despite the disbelief of others, she held steadfast in her truth. Her bravery in sharing what she had seen, in spite of doubt and disbelief, is a testament to the strength of conviction. Then, we see the challenge of disbelief as even those closest to Jesus struggled to accept the reality of his resurrection. This reminds us that faith often asks us to believe in things that may seem impossible. It's a challenge that requires us to go beyond our comfort zones, to question, and to seek understanding. Lastly, the call to spread the good news. Jesus directed his disciples to go out to the whole world, proclaim the good news to all creation. This wasn't just a command to the disciples, but a call to all of us. It's a call to share love, kindness, and hope with those around us. To proclaim not just with our words, but with our actions. As we reflect on this passage, let's consider our own experiences. How can we show courage in sharing our own extraordinary experiences? How can we challenge our own disbelief? And how can we answer the call to spread the good news in our everyday lives? Remember, every encounter, every experience, holds the potential to be a profound message for us and for the world.